You know how sometimes your friend says something weird and you just laugh it off? Like, boo, I'm so thirsty. I could literally drink you. Yeah, I used to laugh. Not anymore, because I found out my best friend, Maya, is a vampire. And not the sparkly, brooding kind from the movies. The dangerous kind. It all started subtly. Her aversion to garlic bread at our favorite Italian place, I chalked it up to a new diet. Her incredible strength when she single-handedly lifted a fallen bookshelf off me. I thought it was adrenaline. Her late night walks and her skin, which was always so cold, even on the hottest summer days. I just thought she had bad circulation. I was an idiot. I know. I trusted her. She was my rock, the one I told everything to. How could I have been so blind? The turning point was last Tuesday. I'd left my laptop at her apartment, so I used the spare key she gave me to let myself in. Her place was dark. As usual, I called her name, but there was no answer. I figured she was out on one of her walks. I went to her living room to grab my bag, and that's when I saw it. Tucked under her sofa cushion was a small, leather-bound journal. I know, it was a total invasion of privacy. But my gut was screaming at me, something was wrong. I opened it. The first few pages were normal complaints about work, doodles, movie reviews, but then the entries started to change. The handwriting got older, more ornate, the dates. They went back decades, centuries. She wrote about feeds, about the hunger, about the endless, lonely nights. She described people with a chilling detachment, like they were just sources of food. My blood ran cold. There were names, dates, and locations, a list. A list of people who had mysteriously disappeared from our city over the years. Then I found the most recent entry. It was dated the night before. It was about me. She wrote about our friendship, how she genuinely cared for me. But she also wrote about the temptation, how my vitality was a constant, maddening perfume. She described watching me sleep, fighting an urge that was growing stronger every night. The final line of the entry made my heart stop. I don't know how much longer I can resist. It's not a matter of if, but when. I dropped the journal, my hands shaking. Suddenly, all the weird little quirks made horrifying sense. The super strength, the cold skin, the thirst. Maya wasn't just my quirky, nocturnal friend. She was a predator, and I was her next target. I backed out of the apartment, trying not to make a sound. Every shadow seemed to move. Every creak of the floorboards felt like a death sentence. I ran all the way home and locked my door, barricading it with a chair like some character in a horror movie. For the past week, I've been living in a state of pure terror. I haven't answered her calls or texts. She's been to my apartment. I can hear her knocking, her voice soft and concerned on the other side of the door. Are you okay? I'm worried about you. Please let me in. The scariest part is she sounds like the same old Maya, the friend I've known for years. But I know what she is now. I see her everywhere. A glimpse of her in a crowd, a flash of her reflection in a shop window. Is it my paranoia, or is she stalking me, waiting for the right moment? I went to the police. Can you guess how that went? I told them my best friend is a centuries-old vampire who wants to drink my blood. They looked at me like I was crazy. They offered to send a wellness officer to my home and suggested I get some professional help. They don't believe me. No one would. Who would believe a story like this? I'm completely on my own. So I started digging. I spent hours in the library's local history section, cross-referencing the names from her journal with old newspapers and missing person reports. They all matched up, people who vanished without a trace. The articles often mentioned a mysterious, beautiful woman seen with them shortly before they disappeared. The descriptions, though vague, all had similarities. Pale skin, dark hair, captivating eyes. It was her. It was always her. I've learned a few things from old folklore books. The stuff you see in movies, some of it is true, some of it is nonsense. Garlic, it seems to be a real deterrent. I've lined my windows with it. My apartment stinks, but it's a smell I've learned to associate with safety. Holy water, crosses. I'm not religious, but at this point, I'm willing to try anything. I feel like I'm losing my mind, arming myself with superstitions against a monster that was once my closest confidant. The real problem is, I can't hide forever. I have a life to live, a job to go to. But how can I ever feel safe again, knowing she's out there? She knows my routine, my favorite coffee shop, the park where I go for a run. She knows everything about me. That's the cruelest part. The person I trusted with all my secrets is now the weapon being used against me. Her knowledge of my life is her hunting map. Last night, I got a package delivered to my door. No return address. Inside was a single, perfect, blood red rose, the kind she knows are my favorite. Tucked into the petals was a small, folded note. Her elegant handwriting was unmistakable. It just said two words, "I'm waiting." It wasn't a threat. It was a promise. She's not going to give up. She's playing with me, enjoying the fear. It's a game to her. The cat and mouse thrill before the hunt, so I have to make a choice. Do I keep running, keep hiding, living in constant fear until I make a mistake? Or do I fight back? But how do you fight a monster? How do you fight someone who looks like your best friend? Someone you still, in some twisted, broken part of your heart, care about. I look at old photos of us, laughing, traveling, sharing secrets. And I have to remind myself that the person in those photos is gone. Or maybe she was never really there at all. Maybe it was all a lie, a performance to get close to me. I'm recording this because if something happens to me, I want someone to know the truth. Don't trust appearances. Don't ignore your gut. The monsters are real. And sometimes they're the people you love the most. I don't know what I'm going to do next. But I know I can't live like this. The hunter is being hunted. I need to find a way to turn the tables. I have to find a way to survive. I have to stop her before she adds my name to the list in her little leather book. Wish me luck. I think I'm going to need it.